Hey there, well done for getting to day 18 of looking into Luke. We're in Luke chapter 18, and let me ask you a question. What comes to your mind when I say the word prayer? Maybe you're thinking, oh, not prayer, it's just something I'm rubbish at. Or maybe you're thinking, I never know how I'm meant to be when I pray, I just don't know what I'm meant to be like. Or maybe you're thinking, I don't know what God's doing when I pray. Sometimes it feels like I'm praying to the wall or to the ceiling. Well, Jesus, in the first 14 verses of Luke chapter 18, he tells us two stories that gives a bit of insight into prayer. And specifically, they tell us, one, what God is like when we pray, but secondly, they tell us what we should be like when we pray. So firstly, what God is like. You see, God isn't like the judge in the story. You see, the judge in this story, he doesn't really care about people. He doesn't care about God, and he doesn't care about this widow who's coming to him with her problems. And in fact, he only acts eventually because she keeps pestering him. But God isn't someone that we have to keep pestering for him until he listens to us. No, God cares about us. God cares about justice. And God will listen to us the very moment we speak to him, because he cares for you. So don't ever feel like you're praying to the wall. You're praying to a God who cares for you. But what should we be like when we pray? Well, we see the story, don't we, of the Pharisee and the tax collector. And well, what was the Pharisee like when he prayed? Well, he was a bit of a big head, wasn't he? He was praying about how good he was, how glad he wasn't like those other people, the sinners. Oh, he was so much better than them. And that was about it. He doesn't seem to even recognise God, he's just talking about himself. Yet the tax collector, he recognises who he's talking to. He recognises he stands before a perfect God. And when he looks at his own life, all he can say to God is, God, have mercy on me, a sinner. He knows he needs God's mercy. And Jesus says, the tax collector, the one who came before God and realised he had nothing to bring, he's the one that went away justified, went away right with God. And there's this reminder, when we come to God, how should we be when we pray? We shouldn't be proud. Why? Because the proud God will bring us down. He'll bring the proud down. He'll humble them. Instead, we should be humble. We should realise who we're talking to. And if we're humble before God, if we're not thinking about ourselves, then God will exalt us. God will use our prayers mightily. So that's what we should be like when we pray. We should be humble before a God who really cares and will listen.